Hi, so I had this idea to start doing these little frugal moments. And by the way, I'm Courtney, and if you like this content, please like and subscribe. So I thought I would start doing these little frugal moments, sharing different ideas. I've been writing these down in my phone as I think about them. And another one I wanted to share today is, can I afford it? And I wanted to talk about this because I talk to my friends and other people that I kind of coach a lot, family, um, and I see different kind of mindsets around this, and I don't think that there's anything necessarily right or wrong. There's just different ways of looking at things. And money really doesn't have feelings or thoughts. Money is driven by our emotions. And so money is really just a math problem. And when there is finances involved, we have to look at the math. But we all know that emotion really drives our spending. And so a lot of times the reason we do the things we do is because of our emotions that are tied to that. And so, for instance, we've been wanting to build a sunroom onto our house. We do have enough cash to do that, but emotionally, I like to have the feeling of security of having that cash in the bank in case something were to happen. I have been sick this year with COVID twice. Yes, I am vaccinated, and I've had long COVID, and so unfortunately, like, I haven't been able to work as much. So it's made me very nervous about spending money. So that's what I wanted to talk about. My husband said to me the other day, and this is what made me think of this. He said, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford a brand new truck. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. We have enough money to go buy a brand new truck right now, but it would almost deplete us. And I said, afford is just really is something that you have to think about. Do you want to pay for it? And do you have the money, or do you look at affording as having the money to make the payments? And for my husband and I, we look at it more as, do we have the money to buy cash? And so for us also, it is a matter of, what stage in your life are you in? We are older. I am 50. He is 63. And he will be retiring from his W 2 job. We also have a business. He will be retiring from his W 2 job in about 2 years, a little less than 2 years. And so it is very important for us to have a large amount of emergency fund and to have all of our bills paid off and not have any more debt, so that when the income is down, that we can afford to pay our monthly bills for what is coming in, which will be substantially less than it is now. And so if we don't have the cash to pay for it, we don't buy it. And so while we could afford the payments and could probably pay it off pretty quickly, it just makes us both feel pretty uncomfortable to do that. So other people feel comfortable if they have a job and they can make the payments every month. You also want to look at is, do you have an appreciating or depreciating asset? So what does that mean if you're not familiar with that kind of language? So for instance, if you're going to go out and buy a house and you know that that you can sell that house, and you're going to make money off of it in a certain amount of time if you hold it, that's an appreciating asset. Appreciating assets are usually houses and or property, land, or they're going to be investments. So anything that generally grows, accrues interest, is an appreciating asset. Anything that loses money or you're paying interest on it is a depreciating asset. So if you go out and you buy a $50,000 tractor, yes, they exist. I live on a farm, and you get payments on that tractor, and you put it out over a very long period of time, and in 3 years you want to upgrade, there's a very good chance that you might owe more on the tractor than it's worth, because it is a depreciating asset. So my husband and I tend to pay cash for things that are depreciating assets, and generally we buy good quality used things that have already depreciated the most that they can. And with cars and things like that, it's usually about 8 years. So in 5 years they've depreciated quite a bit. In 8 years they've depreciated to the point that it slows down. So, I just wanted to talk about that today because it's an emotional thing. For me personally, the way I look at it is, if I were going to have a loan on something, I would have the cash in the bank where I could pay it off at any time. I can't really see a situation where I would do that, where I would go get a loan at this point, because we have been debt free since 2019 completely. We sold my house, paid off our final debt, and it's been 2 years since we've had any debt other than the house. We've paid our house down to a very small amount in a very short time. And I just can't see a place where I go get payments, because we have worked so hard to be debt free. My husband's going into retirement, and I don't want to work until I'm of full retirement age, because my husband's 13 years older than me. If you are younger and you don't have a lot of risk and you know you can work, you just always want to protect yourself from having to be in bankruptcy. So it's always good to think consequentially. Like, if I lose my job tomorrow, do I have enough money to pay the bills while I sell off these things? And would I be able to keep my house, or how important is that to me? So in a market like we have now, you could probably sell your house and your car for more money. But there are times in life where we can't. So you always want to be prepared to have enough money in the bank to get yourself by for at least 6 months in case something tragic happened. And for me personally, being debt free is the ultimate. But if you're younger, it may not be. All right, then. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Bye bye.